Perhaps the most acutely fascinating topic when dealing with psychoanalysis is body language and other physical cues that can be picked up on when reading someone. Even if you lack the necessary background knowledge to read a person, don't know them well enough to get an accurate portrayal of their behaviors, or are not great on picking up on subtler cues, reading someone's body language is perhaps the easiest way to quickly and stealthily begin to understand other people. Neurotypical individuals, that is to say those who don't fall under the autism spectrum, have an innate, seemingly built-in basic understanding of how people position themselves and what their positioning can mean in the context of society and conversation with others. We unknowingly build this reservoir of information up from the moment we begin to comprehend images, from watching our parents to watching strangers everywhere we go, even as infants and toddlers. This trend leads us to our adult phases of life, where we have a library of knowledge about people's physical cues and body language, a library that many of us didn't even know we had. Of course, to begin discussing body language, we have to first talk about the entire body as a whole first. When someone is engaging in conversation and has their entire body facing toward another person, makes direct and frequent eye contact, and is generally responsive, it's likely that the individual trusts the person with whom they are conversing. It may also be that they are someone who feels safe in that environment and who is secure with themselves. Someone who is very closed off physically and lacks expressiveness and emotion in their voice and pose may feel insecure or uncomfortable with either the other person or the location. Of course, these are two extremes on the elongated and in-depth spectrum of body language, posturing, and tone. A telltale sign of the way a person is feeling is the positioning of their arms. Noticing this without staring at the person or otherwise seeming suspicious can be helpful. The way someone's arms are positioned can tell you a lot about the way a person perceives their current situation. One physical way of defending ourselves from potential danger is by using our arms. When you fall forward, how do you instinctively try to catch yourself? The answer is likely with your arms. Keeping this in mind, there are many ways a person's arm positioning can indicate their mood, general personality, and other things about them. Arms at side. This is obviously a very neutral pose. What this pose indicates depends heavily on the context of what the rest of the person's physicality is communicating. Another giveaway which adds context to this pose is what other poses they are shifting through in the person's stance. For example, if a person has his arms at his sides and every now and then shifts them to his pockets or similar, it's likely a sign that this person is acting casual and overall is feeling relaxed. However, if they are shifting quickly between this seemingly neutral pose and moving their hands between their lap and pockets, they may feel impatient. This may also simply be in a place or position where they're expected to act formally, especially if they wouldn't normally act this way. These rules aren't concrete, but this is a trend that follows most people, so it's treated as a general rule of thumb. Arms crossed. This is usually a telltale sign that a person feels defensive, or as if they're being attacked. This position is usually taken by someone who is insecure with themselves or their situation and wants to feel in control and unbothered by physically asserting this through their body language. This position may also be a simple neutral or relaxed state. Some people just position their arms this way out of habit or because they don't know what else they should be doing with their arms. Don't read too deeply into what may look like a different story than reality. Again, rely on other context clues and signals from body language to piece the case together. Hand scratching at neck or face. Someone who repeatedly scratches the neck or face may be anxious, as though they are helpless, or otherwise not at all in control of the situation. A similar gesture to note is rubbing the thumb over the side of the forefinger while making something of a fist.